Inner silence leads to clarity of mind in today's fast-paced world. Our minds are constantly bombarded with information, noise, and distractions. From the moment we wake up, we are surrounded by the chatter of television, notifications on our phones, conversations with others, and our own endless stream of thoughts. This constant noise creates confusion and stress, making it difficult to think clearly or make wise decisions. True wisdom, however, does not arise from this external chaos. It comes from inner silence, a state where the mind is calm and still. When we cultivate inner silence, we gain a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us, leading to clarity of mind and profound insight. Clarity of mind is like looking into a clear, still pond. When the water is calm, you can see straight to the bottom, observing everything clearly. But when the water is disturbed, it becomes muddy, and nothing beneath the surface is visible. Our minds work in exactly the same way. When filled with constant noise and turbulence, it becomes impossible to see things as they truly are. In contrast, when the mind is quiet, free from distractions, it reflects reality without distortion. This is where wisdom begins. The Buddha often emphasized the importance of mindfulness and meditation as ways to quiet the mind. When we practice silence, whether through meditation or simply taking moments to sit in stillness, we give ourselves the opportunity to step back from the noise. This does not mean suppressing thoughts or emotions, but rather observing them without judgment. By doing so, we begin to understand the patterns of our mind. We start to see which thoughts are useful and which are merely distractions or reactions to external circumstances. This awareness brings a profound sense of clarity. Consider how many times in life we make decisions impulsively, driven by anger, fear, or excitement. In those moments, our minds are clouded and we cannot see the full picture. This often leads to regret or negative consequences. Inner silence gives us the space to pause before acting. When we are calm, we can think deeply and clearly about our choices. We are no longer controlled by our emotions or the noise of the outside world. Instead, we act from a place of balance and wisdom. This is why inner silence is not just about peace of mind, but about making better decisions in every area of life. In addition, inner silence helps us to understand our true selves. Most of the time, we identify ourselves with our thoughts and emotions, believing they define who we are. But in silence, we begin to realize that we are more than our fleeting feelings or passing ideas. This realization creates a deep sense of inner freedom. We are no longer trapped by every negative thought or stressful situation. Instead, we become observers of our inner world, watching it with clarity and understanding. From this space, true wisdom naturally arises. Practicing inner silence does not require long hours of meditation or isolation. It can be as simple as taking a few minutes each day to sit quietly, breathe deeply, and let go of distractions. Over time, this practice strengthens our ability to remain calm even in difficult situations. The more we cultivate silence, the clearer our minds become, and the wiser our decisions will be. Ultimately, inner silence is a powerful tool for personal growth and transformation. It allows us to see reality as it truly is, free from confusion and distortion. With a clear mind, we gain insight into ourselves, others, and the world. This clarity is the foundation of true wisdom, a wisdom that guides us toward peace, understanding, and a more meaningful life. Detachment from external chaos in the modern world. We are constantly surrounded by external noise. This noise is not only physical, like the sound of traffic, conversations, or music, but also mental and emotional. Notifications on our phones, endless streams of news, social media updates, and the opinions of others bombard our minds throughout the day. While staying informed and connected has its benefits, it can also lead to mental overload. When we are deeply attached to this external chaos, our thoughts become scattered, our emotions unstable, and our decisions clouded. To cultivate true wisdom, we must learn to step back and detach ourselves from the constant noise of the outside world. Detachment does not mean completely avoiding life or rejecting society. Instead, it is about finding balance. It is the ability to remain calm and centered even when everything around you feels chaotic. Imagine being in the middle of a storm. If you allow yourself to be swept away by the strong winds, you will be tossed around with no control. But if you stand firmly rooted like a strong tree, you can withstand the storm without being destroyed by it. Similarly, detachment is like that inner strength that keeps you grounded while external situations swirl around you. When we are overly attached to external chaos, we often let other people's opinions, behaviors, or actions control our emotions. For example, a negative comment on social media might ruin your entire day. A bad headline in the news might fill you with fear or anger. Even small events, like someone cutting you off in traffic, can trigger intense frustration. This happens because we are reacting to the outside world instead of responding wisely. The more we react, the more control we give away. True wisdom comes when we realize that while we cannot control what happens around us, we can control our inner state. Practicing detachment helps you to view situations from a higher perspective. It allows you to see problems clearly without getting emotionally entangled. When you detach, you don't ignore your feelings or become cold-hearted. Instead, you acknowledge your emotions, but you do not let them overpower your judgment. For instance, if someone speaks harshly to you, instead of immediately lashing out or feeling deeply hurt, you take a step back. You recognize that their words are a reflection of their state of mind, not yours. This level of understanding only comes when the mind is quiet and detached from the chaos around it. One powerful way to develop detachment is through mindfulness and meditation. When you spend time in silence each day, you begin to notice how external events influence your thoughts and emotions. Over time, you gain the strength to let go of unnecessary attachments. You start to realize that external circumstances are temporary and ever-changing, but your inner peace can remain constant. This realization brings a deep sense of freedom. You no longer feel like a prisoner of the world's chaos. Detachment also improves your relationships. Often, conflicts arise because we are too attached to our expectations of others. When they do not meet those expectations, we feel disappointed or angry. By practicing detachment, you learn to accept people as they are instead of trying to control them. This creates healthier and more peaceful interactions. In conclusion, detachment from external chaos is essential for cultivating true wisdom. It allows you to stay balanced, calm, and clear-minded, even when the world around you is noisy and unpredictable. Through detachment, you reclaim your inner power and create space for deeper understanding. Instead of being swept away by the storm of life, you become like the still, steady center of the storm, a place where clarity and wisdom naturally flourish. Self-reflection and awareness are essential steps toward cultivating true wisdom. In a world filled with distractions and external pressures, it is easy to lose touch with who we truly are. Many people live their lives on autopilot, reacting to circumstances without ever stopping to consider why they think, feel, or act the way they do. This lack of awareness often leads to repeating the same mistakes, staying stuck in negative patterns, and living without a clear sense of purpose. However, when we take time for self-reflection, we begin to understand ourselves on a deeper level, which brings clarity, growth, and inner peace. Self-reflection is like holding up a mirror to your inner world. Just as a physical mirror shows you your outward appearance, reflection allows you to see the thoughts, beliefs, and emotions that shape your actions and experiences. Without this inner mirror, it's impossible to truly know yourself. Many spiritual traditions, including Buddhism, emphasize that self-knowledge is the foundation of wisdom. The Buddha himself encouraged his followers to observe their minds carefully, to notice their cravings, fears, and attachments. This practice helps individuals see the root causes of their suffering and take steps toward liberation. One of the greatest benefits of self-reflection is gaining awareness of unconscious patterns. Often, our reactions to situations are shaped by past experiences or deeply ingrained beliefs that we are not even aware of. For example, a person might feel angry whenever they receive constructive criticism. On the surface, it seems like they are reacting to the other person's words, but in reality, the anger might stem from childhood experiences of feeling judged or unworthy. Without self-reflection, this person would continue to react with anger, damaging relationships and causing inner turmoil. Through awareness, however, they can recognize the deeper cause and begin to heal. Self-reflection also gives us the power to make conscious choices rather than simply reacting to life. When we are unaware, we act out of habit or impulse, often leading to regret later. But when we pause and reflect, we create space between stimulus and response. This pause is where wisdom emerges. For instance, if someone says something hurtful, an unreflective person might immediately shout back or withdraw in anger. A reflective person, on the other hand, would take a moment to breathe, understand their feelings, and respond calmly. This simple act of awareness can transform relationships and create harmony instead of conflict. Practicing self-reflection does not require long hours of meditation or isolation, although those practices can deepen it. It can be as simple as taking a few minutes each day to sit quietly and review your thoughts and actions. Journaling is another powerful tool for reflection. By writing down your experiences and feelings, you gain insight into patterns that may not be obvious at first. Over time, this practice strengthens your awareness and helps you grow into the person you truly want to be. Another important aspect of self-reflection is learning to observe without judgment. Many people avoid looking inward because they fear what they might find. They may feel ashamed of their mistakes or weaknesses. However, true reflection requires kindness and compassion toward yourself. Instead of harshly criticizing your flaws, see them as opportunities for growth. Just as a gardener tends to a plant with care and patience, you can nurture your inner self with understanding and love. Ultimately, self-reflection and awareness lead to inner transformation. When you truly understand yourself, you gain the wisdom to change what no longer serves you and to nurture what brings peace and happiness. You begin to live more intentionally, making choices that align with your highest values. Through awareness, you see life more clearly, and through reflection, you learn to walk the path of wisdom. This inner journey not only benefits you but also brings harmony to the world around you, as your actions become guided by clarity, compassion, and understanding. Inner peace creates wise choices in the journey of life. Every individual is faced with countless decisions, both big and small. These decisions shape the direction of our lives and influence our happiness, relationships, and overall well-being. However, many of these choices are often made in a state of stress, fear, or confusion. When the mind is restless and disturbed, it is difficult to see the truth clearly, and this often leads to poor decisions or actions that we later regret. Inner peace plays a vital role in solving this problem. A calm and centered mind becomes the foundation for making wise, thoughtful, and balanced choices. When we are at peace within ourselves, we gain the ability to think clearly and objectively. Imagine a glass of muddy water. If you keep stirring it, the water remains cloudy, and you cannot see through it. But if you set the glass down and allow it to sit still, the dirt settles to the bottom and the water becomes clear. Similarly, when our mind is constantly agitated by stress, anger, or worry, it becomes cloudy and confused. In this state, we are likely to act impulsively, without considering the long-term consequences of our actions. Inner peace is like allowing the mind to settle so that we can see the situation clearly and respond wisely instead of reacting hastily. Inner peace does not mean ignoring problems or avoiding challenges. It means having a stable center that allows you to face difficulties without being overwhelmed by them. Life will always have ups and downs, moments of joy and moments of struggle. If we rely only on external circumstances for our peace, we will constantly feel unsettled because external conditions are always changing. True inner peace comes from within. It is the ability to remain calm and balanced no matter what is happening around us. From this calmness, we gain the strength to make decisions with clarity and confidence. A peaceful mind also allows us to manage our emotions effectively. Many poor decisions are made in moments of strong emotion, anger, jealousy, fear, or excitement. For example, someone might say hurtful words in anger, damaging a relationship, or make a risky financial decision out of greed. Later, they may regret their actions, but by then the damage is done. When we cultivate inner peace, we develop the ability to pause and breathe before taking action. This pause creates space between the emotion and the response. Instead of being controlled by feelings, we learn to guide them. This emotional mastery leads to wiser, more thoughtful choices. The Buddha and many other spiritual teachers have emphasized the importance of mindfulness in developing inner peace. Through mindfulness practices such as meditation, deep breathing, or simply being present in the moment, we become aware of our thoughts and emotions without getting swept away by them. This awareness helps us see situations more clearly and recognize the deeper truth behind our experiences. With this clarity, our decisions are no longer driven by confusion or impulsiveness, but by understanding and wisdom. Inner peace also strengthens our ability to listen to ourselves and to others. In a noisy and distracted world, we often fail to truly listen. We may be so focused on our own opinions and desires that we miss valuable insights from those around us. A peaceful mind, however, is open and receptive. It allows us to listen with empathy and patience, leading to better communication and healthier relationships. Wise choices often emerge from deep listening, whether it is listening to our inner intuition or to the voices of those we love. Ultimately, inner peace creates a strong foundation for living a purposeful life. When your mind is calm and steady, you can see beyond temporary problems and focus on what truly matters. You make decisions not only for immediate comfort, but for long-term growth and harmony. This wisdom spreads outward, positively impacting your family, community, and even the larger world. By cultivating inner peace, you become a source of stability and clarity for others, inspiring them to also seek calmness and balance in their own lives. In conclusion, inner peace is not a luxury. It is a necessity for wise living. It empowers you to remain steady in the face of life's storms, to make thoughtful and compassionate choices, and to walk a path of true wisdom. When you nurture peace within yourself, you create a ripple effect of understanding and harmony, not just in your own life, but in the lives of everyone you touch. Silence strengthens intuition in our modern, fast-paced world. We are constantly surrounded by noise, physical, mental, and emotional. From the moment we wake up, our minds are flooded with information: phone notifications, social media updates, work responsibilities, and the endless chatter of daily life. This constant stream of external input often drowns out the quiet inner voice that guides us, our intuition. Intuition is like an inner compass, a natural wisdom that helps us make decisions aligned with our true self. However, to hear this subtle voice, we need to create space for silence. When we embrace silence, we reconnect with our inner guidance and develop a deeper sense of trust in ourselves. Intuition is not just a mystical concept. It is a powerful form of inner knowing. It often appears as a gut feeling, a sudden insight, or a quiet sense of clarity about a situation. Many of the world's greatest thinkers, artists, and leaders have relied on their intuition to make life-changing decisions. Yet, most of us ignore it because it is easily overshadowed by the loud, analytical mind or by external opinions. This is where silence becomes essential. Silence allows us to tune out the noise and listen to what our inner self is trying to communicate. Imagine trying to hear a soft whisper in a crowded room filled with shouting voices. No matter how hard you try, you won't be able to catch the words unless the room becomes quiet. The same is true for our minds. If our thoughts are constantly racing, and if we are always listening to other people's advice or societal expectations, we cannot hear our inner wisdom. By practicing silence, whether through meditation, deep breathing, or simply spending time alone, we quiet the mental chatter. In this stillness, our intuition rises to the surface, speaking clearly and guiding us. One of the key benefits of strengthening intuition through silence is the ability to make better decisions. Often, logical thinking alone is not enough to navigate life's complexities. There are times when facts and data cannot fully capture the emotional or spiritual dimensions of a choice. For example, you might have two job offers that seem equally good on paper. Logic might not reveal which one is truly right for you. In silence, by listening to your inner feelings, you may sense a deep pull toward one option. This intuitive insight often leads to a choice that aligns with your true values and long-term happiness. Silence also helps us separate our authentic voice from external influences. Many of our decisions are unconsciously shaped by what others expect of us, family, friends, or society. Without realizing it, we might pursue careers, relationships, or lifestyles that do not truly reflect who we are. This creates inner conflict and dissatisfaction. When we regularly spend time in silence, we begin to recognize which desires are genuinely ours and which are imposed by others. This awareness gives us the strength to follow our own path with confidence and courage. In addition, silence nurtures self-trust. When we act solely based on external advice, we may constantly doubt ourselves, wondering if we made the right choice. Intuition, on the other hand, comes from a deep place of inner knowing. The more we listen to and follow our intuition, the more we trust ourselves. Over time, this trust grows stronger, and our lives become more aligned and harmonious. Even when challenges arise, we feel grounded because we are guided by a source of wisdom within us. Practicing silence does not require special conditions. It can be as simple as sitting quietly for a few minutes each morning, turning off your phone, and focusing on your breath. Nature is also a powerful place to cultivate silence. Walking in a park, sitting by a river, or watching the sunrise can create a peaceful environment where intuition naturally emerges. The key is consistency. The more often you practice silence, the more attuned you become to your inner guidance. Ultimately, silence strengthens intuition by creating space for deep listening. It helps us reconnect with our authentic self and navigate life with wisdom and clarity. In a world filled with external noise and conflicting messages, this inner guidance is a priceless gift. By embracing silence, we open the door to a higher form of intelligence, one that goes beyond logic and connects us to the deeper truths of life. Through this connection, we make decisions that lead to peace, fulfillment, and a meaningful existence. The path to enlightenment and understanding enlightenment is often seen as the ultimate goal of spiritual growth, a state of profound clarity, freedom, and deep understanding of life. It is the realization of truth beyond illusions, the awakening to the interconnectedness of all things, and the release from suffering. Throughout history, great spiritual teachers like the Buddha have taught that this state is not something we find outside ourselves, but something we cultivate within. One of the most powerful ways to move toward enlightenment is through inner silence. In the stillness of the mind, we gain direct insight into the nature of reality and discover the wisdom that leads to lasting peace. The path to enlightenment begins with quieting the restless mind. Our minds are often like a busy marketplace filled with constant chatter, worries, plans, regrets, and endless streams of thoughts. This inner noise keeps us trapped in confusion and prevents us from seeing clearly. Just as you cannot see your reflection in turbulent water, you cannot see the truth when your mind is agitated. Silence allows the mental water to become calm and clear. In this clarity, you begin to see life as it truly is, without distortion or misunderstanding. This is the first step toward true understanding. Buddhism teaches that much of human suffering comes from misunderstanding and ignorance. We cling to temporary things, believing they will bring permanent happiness. We identify with our thoughts and desires, forgetting that they are impermanent and ever-changing. When we sit in silence and observe our inner world, we begin to see the truth of impermanence. Thoughts arise and pass away, emotions come and go, and even the sense of self we hold so tightly is constantly shifting. This realization can be deeply liberating. It helps us let go of unnecessary attachments and live with greater peace and freedom. Silence also helps us connect with our deeper self, the part of us that exists beyond ego and superficial desires. In everyday life, we often identify with roles and labels: parent, student, employee, friend. While these roles are part of our experience, they do not define who we truly are. In the quiet moments of reflection, we can sense the vastness of our true nature, pure awareness that exists beneath all these identities. This awareness brings a profound sense of unity with others and with the world. When we realize that all beings share the same essence, compassion naturally arises. This compassionate understanding is a hallmark of enlightenment. Another important aspect of the path to enlightenment is the practice of mindfulness and meditation. Meditation is not just about sitting quietly. It is about developing a deep, continuous awareness of the present moment. Through meditation, we train the mind to remain focused and calm, even in difficult circumstances. This practice strengthens our ability to observe life without judgment or resistance. Over time, meditation reveals deeper insights about the nature of reality, such as the interconnectedness of all things and the causes of suffering. These insights are not just intellectual, they are direct experiences that transform how we see and live in the world. As understanding deepens, we begin to experience inner freedom. We no longer feel controlled by our desires, fears, or external circumstances. Challenges still arise, but we face them with equanimity and wisdom rather than panic or anger. This freedom does not mean escaping from life's responsibilities. Rather, it allows us to engage fully with life while remaining grounded and peaceful. From this state of inner balance, we naturally make better decisions, treat others with kindness, and live in harmony with our surroundings. The journey to enlightenment is gradual and requires patience, dedication, and compassion for oneself. It is not a destination to be reached in one moment, but a continuous unfolding of awareness and understanding. Each moment of silence, each mindful breath, brings us closer to this awakened state. Even small practices, like taking time each day to sit quietly or observe your thoughts without attachment, can create profound changes over time. In conclusion, the path to enlightenment is paved with silence, mindfulness, and self-discovery. Through quieting the mind, we gain clarity and insight into the true nature of life. We let go of illusions and attachments, develop compassion for ourselves and others, and experience the deep freedom of living in harmony with reality. Enlightenment is not about escaping the world, but about seeing it with clear eyes and an open heart. When we walk this path, we not only transform ourselves, but also bring light and wisdom to everyone around us. This is the ultimate purpose of inner silence, to awaken to the truth and to live with understanding, peace, and boundless love